So we will see in this one advantages of of downdraft. So here bricks are evenly burnt. Performance of this kiln is better than updraft. Performance is better than this updraft. So the kiln is suitable for burning the structural clay tiles, terracotta, because close control of heat. So here we can control the heat. Okay, like this. Okay. Now we have seen the tunnel diagram. No? So that was the example for continuous kiln. That is the example for continuous. These kilns are continuous in operation. This means the loading, firing, cooling, unloading, everything is carried simultaneously. It's carrying simultaneously. So here there are types of continuous kilns. What are those? Bull's trench, half mon, tunnel. So these three are the example for continuous kilns. Okay. So the operations such as loading, firing, cooling, unloading simultaneously. Example Bull's trench, Hoffman tunnel. Okay. Okay. This is a typical example for Bull trench. Here you can see the section. Here you can see plan. So the continuous operation, chamber 1, chamber 2, chamber 3, like these chambers are there. So here at the sides there will be fluo. So let us say it is the outer brick wall. It is the outer brick wall. Here is the inner brick wall. Here is the inner brick wall. This is a plan. This is a plan. So here some small pipes are shown. So that is why we call it as flue holes. We call them as flue holes. So what are these? Dampers. Dampers means for cooling purpose they will be kept. For the cooling purpose they will be kept. Okay. So here you can see it is a little bit underground type construction for better control of fire and temperature. And there will be one chimney. There will be one chimney. So this is for Bull's trench kiln. Okay. Just try to see like this. So you remember chamber 1, 2, 3, 4 means continuously. If chamber 2 is under the loading operation, then it is easily understand that this chamber is burning. This is after burning cooling procedure. So this is also unloading. So this will be final to the outside. So like this continuous burning, unloading, loading, firing, everything is taking place simultaneously in the different chambers. In the different chambers. Okay. So here you can see this kiln may be rectangle, circular or oval shape. Anything is possible. It is constructed in a trench excavated in ground, either fully underground or partially underground. Both way it is possible. So it is also provided with outer walls act as a flue holes. It is some pipes or openings is there. Pipes or openings is there. Those are called as flue holes. So dampers are in the form of iron plates. Dampers are also provided in the form of iron plates. They used to divide the kilns in suitable sections. So different compartments we need to make now. So that is why dampers are used. Okay, dampers are used. Here you can easily understand that the different sections, the different chambers, what are the different operations are taking down. Okay, loading, empty, unloading, cooling, burning, like that. Continuous arrangement is there. Continuous arrangement is there. The bricks are arranged in such a way that flues are formed. The flues are formed means pipes are created or flue gases will come out. The fuel is placed in the flues. Flues are nothing but pipes only. It is ignited through flue holes. It is ignited through flue holes after covering the top surface with ash or earth. Okay, it is covered with that one. And they have some movable iron chimneys. They have some movable iron chimneys, and these chimneys are placed in advance of the section being forwarded. So that is the gases whatever they are leaving, no, the chimney warm up the bricks in the next section. So the chimney is continuously moving in a circular shape such that this is also making the brick sections a warm such that temperature control is possible. No need to worry about all those things. Simply you understand the arrangement, or you can say the plan. You can just understand the plan for that one. It is in the oval shape. Okay, there will be compartment. So outer wall, inner wall. You understand that way. Outer wall, inner wall, flue pipes, and there will be one chimney. That's all. When burning is started through the flue pipes, everything is burnt and continuous chamber is rotated. Okay, sorry, what is that? Chimney is rotated. Continuous chimney is rotated. Whatever the burning chamber is there, their chimney location will be there. That's all. So in this section, if burning is there, the chimney is moved to here, and after complete burning, the exhaust gases will go, and in the next process, next section will be in burning, so their chimney will move. That's all that you remember. Okay. Now Hoffman cringe, Hoffman. So it is in circular shape. That's all. That is the difference here. Sir, circular shape. Here you can see outer wall is also there. Very important outer wall. So this is the outer wall. Okay. So here it is a section AB that is shown here. Section AB. Here there are again some different chambers are there. Again different chambers are there. No problem. Same chamber. Again some inside wall is also there. Inside wall is also there. Again there will be chimney, but which is not movable. It is situated at the central point. It is situated at the central point. So same chimney in the front way it is showing here. It is showing here. Okay. See here. There are some pipes here. Some pipes. These pipes are shown here. These pipes are shown here. So pipes we generally call fuel holes or flue pipes. Fuel holes or flue pipes. So that is why the name given fuel holes or flues. So here you can see flues. So to this chamber from the center flue pipes are coming. From the center flue pipes are coming. So like this flue pipes. From this flue pipes. Okay. So you understand like this. You understand like this. From here the burning will be taking place. From here burning will be taking place, and it is taken to the chimney. It is taken to the chimney. It is taken to the chimney. Simple. Is it simple? No? From the center portion through these fuel holes. You can understand here. Again I will draw. These are the brick layers. These are the brick layers. These are the different chambers. Brick layers. From these flue pipes, burning is done in this chamber. Okay. Through these flue pipes, burning is done in this chamber. After burning, it is collected here and taken to the chimney. Okay. Like this. Here connected here, taken to the chimney. Like this. Simply it is in the rotating. So that is why to every chamber in a circular shape, the flue pipes have been laid. Flue pipes have been laid. That is the difference. Flue pipes. For every chamber, the chimney pipe is there. Chimney line is also there. Chimney line is also there. So that is why it is called as Hoffman's kiln. Hoffman kiln. Okay. So the same explanation I will just read out for your understanding. Okay. So Hoffman kiln. It is constructed over the ground and it is also known as flame. Its shape is circular. It is divided into number of compartments. Permanent roof is there. Kiln is even function in the rainy season also. So at least 12 chambers will be there. Simple, no? Okay. So again the different chambers will be having different things. Chamber 1 loading, chamber 2 to 5 drying and preheating, 6 to 7 burning, 8 to 11 cooling, and 12 is unloading. That is the number they have given. Don't need to remember. You can randomly assign the process also. Okay. So for this initial cost is less. Good quality bricks will be produced. We can regulate the heat inside the chambers. That is also possible. Supply of bricks is continuous, and there is a considerable saving in fuel. And for the preheating of bricks is also possible. Preheating of the bricks is also possible. Considerable fuel saving. Brick production is continuous and regular. Regular heat. Good quality. Okay. So those are advantages of what? Advantages of the kiln compared with clamp. Compared with clamp. In the beginning only we have cleared that clamp is a temporary, kiln is a permanent, cost is less, cost is more, quality is less, quality is more. Okay, so simple way you can understand. So for tunnel kiln, tunnel, what is that? We have also seen this type of kiln is tunnel in the form of tunnel, which is straight or circular or oval shape, any shape. Okay. So the raw bricks are placed in trolleys. So these are placed inside the trolleys. Then they moved from one to another end. We have seen it in the photograph, no? One to another end. So whatever raw bricks are there, they will dry it first, preheated first, and then they will reach the fire zone. Okay, inside the tunnel, so there will be drying section, preheating section, zone of fire. Again here cooling, unloading. So continuous movement will be there. In the zone of fire, bricks are burned to the required degree. They are then pushed forward for the cooling. So here the cooling operation will be there. They will be moved. Okay. So when the bricks are sufficiently cooled, they are unloaded. So unloaded means they will be taken out. Okay. So this is very economical when there is a large scale manufacturing. Very economical when there is a large scale manufacturing. Temperature is under control. Uniform brick quality is maintained. In this one we will see what are the requirements or qualities of good brick. Very important from your exam point of view. So good brick qualities or good brick requirements. Okay. Bricks should be table molded, well burnt in kilns, copper colored, free from cracks, and with sharp and square edges. Okay, whatever bricks you need to take, table molded, well burnt, copper colored, free from cracks and sharp and square edge. Bricks should be uniform shape and should be standard size. Okay, bricks should give clear ringing sound when struck each other. When you hit a brick with another brick, it should give clear ringing sound. Bricks when broken should show bright, homogeneous and compact structure free from voids. Whenever you are taking a brick, if you break this one, whatever the broken surface, it should be homogeneous. Means what? Uniform distribution of the clay material. Okay? Uniform distribution of the clay material. Okay? Bricks should not absorb water more than 20%. Means what? If you are taking a brick, if you keep it in water, so if it is a 100-gram brick, after putting it in water, the water plus brick weight should not be more than 120 grams. That is why we are calling it as a moisture content in a brick or water absorption in a brick. So water absorption should not be more than 20% for first class brick, should not be more than 22% for second class bricks. Okay, why? If it is absorbing more water and it will take water from the cement sand. Okay, later when you are constructing any building wall, the bricks will absorb the water from the cement mortar. So that is why it should not absorb water. That is why absorption value should be less than 20% for first class brick, should not be more than 22% for second class bricks. Here you can see bricks should be sufficiently hard impression, should be left on brick surface, when it is scratched with the fingernail. Means what? It should be sufficiently strong or tough. It should not be easily scratched. Okay. Bricks should be low thermal conductivity. They should be soundproof. It should not allow thermal or heat to pass through it easily. That is why low thermal conductivity, should be soundproof. Okay. Bricks should not break when dropped flat on the ground from a height of 1 meter. Suppose you are throwing a brick from 1 meter height on a flat like this, it should not break. It should not break. Bricks, when soaked in water for 24 hours, should not show deposits of white salts. Means what? After soaking in water, there should not be any white patches, white salt patches. Okay. So bricks should have minimum crushing strength of 55 kg per centimeter square. Okay, minimum it should have possess minimum 55 kg per centimeter square. Okay, so we have classification such as unburnt or sun-dried bricks or burnt bricks. That is possible. Unburnt or sun-dried bricks or burnt bricks. Okay, so in this unburnt or sun-dried bricks, they are receiving the heat from where? They are receiving the heat from the sun. Only directly after molding, they will be kept outside in the atmosphere and they will get heat from the sun. These bricks only used for temporary construction and cheap structures, very less costly structures. Okay, so these bricks should not be used for heavy rain work. They should not be used for heavy rain works. Okay, burnt bricks, these are called as burnt bricks. We have classification as first class, second class, third, fourth, like this, depending upon their nature we are classifying them. Okay,